I'm going to change my life in 1,000 days. If you clicked on this video out of curiosity or for whatever reason, and you've made it this far, you might be wondering what I even mean by that. What does this guy mean by changing his life in 1,000 days? And honestly, it's exactly that. Changing my life in 1,000 days. Or at least trying to. About 2 years ago, maybe a little more, I first thought about this project. I even remember already knowing what I wanted to call it back then. The idea was simple: to document 1,000 days of my life. Why? Because at the pace I'm going, I feel like I'm never going to achieve anything truly meaningful. And I want to be clear about something. This is not about becoming rich. This is not about fame. What I want is to completely change myself. My body, my mind, the way I walk, the way I speak, so many things. I want to become someone completely different from who I am right now. Growing up, I became an insecure person. Insecure about my body and insecure about my abilities. Even now, as an adult, there are moments when I genuinely wonder if something is wrong with me, if I'm just not smart enough. A lot of that comes from how I was raised. My father's way of raising me left me with many negative traits. I'm shy, and because of that, I've never had a girlfriend. I'm 22 years old, and I'm still a virgin. And that makes me sad. Not because it's a bad age. For many people, it's completely normal. But not for me. Not for someone who is insecure and timid. On top of that, I'm addicted to and an addiction I've carried with me since I was 10 years old. A decade. An addiction that has consumed me. It turned me into a disorganized person, careless with myself, lazy, constantly tired, and many other things that I'm sure it has caused. I've tried to quit. I know it's one of the main reasons behind many of my problems, but I haven't been able to. I spent a long time thinking about whether I should say all of this in this video. I felt ashamed. Ashamed of telling the truth for the first time to people who don't even know me. Because if I'm honest, I've never talked about these things with anyone in my life. The main reason was fear. Fear of being judged. That's why I decided to create this project and direct it toward an English-speaking audience. So there's no risk of someone from my personal circle knowing my story, knowing about my addictions, my mistakes, and everything I carry inside. Now that I think about it, I realize that through these videos, I can finally let things out. I can tell my story without filters. I can make mistakes. I can actually see who I am. I had never seriously reflected on my personal problems until I started this project. As I said before, I'm 22 years old. For many people, that's young, but the years keep passing, one after another. It feels like we have time until we stop and look at what we've actually accomplished. That's when you realize time is running out. Just thinking that in 8 years I'll be 30 makes me nervous. Really nervous. But despite all of this, I believe I still have a chance to change everything. And that chance is this project. This is my only way out. My only chance to become someone I'll be proud of when I'm old. Thinking that if I manage to complete 1,000 days, giving everything I have, I could reach 26 years old as a completely unrecognizable person fills me with hope. I don't know. Crazy projects have succeeded before. Why not try this one? If I fail, that's normal. But if this project could have worked and I never even tried, I would regret it for the rest of my life. This project will document 1,000 days of my life, starting on January 1st, 2026. Every single day, I'll push myself to improve, to change, to become the person I've always dreamed of being, or at least a shadow of that person. On this channel, you'll see my victories and my defeats. You'll see someone starting from nothing, trying to transform his life. I don't know if I'll succeed. I hope I do. I hope that by day 1,000, I'll finally be proud of who I am. This is just the introduction. This is the beginning of Project Metamorphosis.